Imagine a world not so different from our own, yet missing something we now take for granted. A world where the like button never existed. Picture this. Mark Zuckerberg never creates Facebook. The social media giant that shaped our digital lives simply never comes to be. There's no newsfeed to scroll endlessly, no like button to chase, no messenger app pinging with notifications, just a digital landscape without a single dominant social network pulling us all together. The internet would be less unified, more fragmented, with no central place for everyone from your grand to your boss to your childhood friends to gather and connect. Our online lives would have evolved along a completely different path, branching out in unexpected directions. Would another massive social network have risen to fill the void? Or would the internet have remained a patchwork of smaller, passionate communities, each with their own rules and cultures? The mid-2000s internet was wild and chaotic, a digital frontier where people were just starting to share their lives online, experimenting with new ways to connect. Without Facebook's influence, the very idea of what it means to be friends online would be different. Maybe we'd value deeper, slower connections, or maybe we'd find new ways to measure our social worth. The platforms we use, the way we share, and even how we think about ourselves would have changed. Our digital identities might be more private or perhaps more scattered across dozens of smaller sites. Today we're going to explore this alternate timeline, a world where the like button never shaped our habits and where social media took a different course. What platforms might have dominated our screens and our conversations? Would MySpace or Orkut have become household names? Or would something entirely new have emerged? How would we get our news, organize for change, or define our digital identities? Would activism look different, or would we rely more on face-to-face connections and grassroots organizing? This is a journey into a world almost identical to ours, yet fundamentally different. A world without meta, where the rules of connection and community were never rewritten by a single company. Let's see what it looks like, and imagine how our lives, both online and offline, might have been transformed. Before Facebook, MySpace ruled the social web. It was the place where millions of people first experienced the thrill of connecting online, customizing their profiles, and sharing their interests with the world. MySpace wasn't just a website, it was a digital playground, a creative outlet, and a social hub all rolled into one. In a Facebook-free world, MySpace could have evolved, ditching glittery chaos for a sleeker, more mature look. Imagine a MySpace that grew up with its users, adapting to their changing tastes and needs, and setting the standard for what social media could be. It might have mastered mobile, staying relevant as smartphones took over. MySpace could have led the charge in mobile innovation, launching new features and apps that kept people connected on the go and making social networking a seamless part of everyday life. Tom from MySpace, not Mark Zuckerberg, could have become the face of social networking. His friendly, approachable image might have shaped the tone of the entire industry, making social media feel more personal and less corporate. MySpace's focus on music and creative expression might have shaped online culture, making the internet more individualistic and artistic. Bands, artists, and fans could have found a permanent home, and self-expression might have remained at the heart of social media. Friendster, especially popular in Asia, could have thrived too, leading to region-specific social networks instead of one global giant. Local platforms might have reflected the unique cultures and values of their communities, fostering a more diverse digital world. The social internet would be fractured, different platforms for different regions and interests. Instead of a single dominant network, people might have chosen from a variety of sites, each with its own vibe and community. Competition would be fierce, with new challengers constantly emerging. Startups and innovators would push boundaries, experimenting with new ways to connect, share, and communicate. Maybe a video-focused or privacy-first platform would have taken off. We might have seen networks built around niche interests, or platforms that prioritized user control and safety from the very beginning. Without Facebook's move fast and break things approach, social media might have evolved more slowly and thoughtfully. Developers could have prioritized trust, safety, and meaningful connection over rapid growth and viral trends. The ecosystem would be richer, with platforms serving unique needs, like a digital city of diverse neighborhoods. Each corner of the internet could have its own flavor, its own rules, and its own sense of belonging. No single empire, but a vibrant, competitive landscape. The internet would be a patchwork of communities, each thriving in its own way, and users would have more choices than ever before. The internet would feel less uniform, more personal. In this alternate timeline, our digital lives might be as unique and expressive as we are. Without Facebook, the entire landscape of social networking would have looked dramatically different. Google would have seen a huge opportunity to shape how we connect online, stepping into a void that Facebook never filled. Google+, instead of being a failed Facebook rival, might have become the default social network, deeply integrated with Gmail, YouTube, and Google Calendar. Imagine logging in to check your email and instantly seeing updates from friends, trending videos, and upcoming events, all in one place. Sharing photos, organizing events, and connecting with friends would all happen seamlessly within Google's ecosystem, making it almost effortless to keep your digital life in sync. Google's walled garden could have been even bigger than Meta's, stretching across search, video, email, and productivity tools, creating a digital world where everything you needed was just a click away. But even with all that power, Google might not have captured everyone. The internet is vast and people crave spaces that reflect their unique interests and identities. Niche networks, platforms for book lovers, gardeners, or football fans, could have thrived without a central giant to compete with. These communities would offer specialized features and a sense of belonging that a massive platform could never fully replicate. Your social life might be spread across several apps, each tailored to a different part of your identity. You'd have a place for your hobbies, your work, your family, and your friends, all separate but equally important. Instead of one giant feed, you'd visit different spaces for different interactions, curating your experience based on what matters most to you in the moment. Online identity would be less about public performance, more about context and community. You could be your true self in each space without worrying about impressing a massive audience. This could reduce the pressure to present a perfect life to everyone, making social media feel more genuine and less stressful. The internet would feel less like a crowded stadium, more like a city of unique neighborhoods, each with its own culture, rules, and sense of community. Healthier, more authentic connections might flourish, as people find spaces where they truly belong and can connect on a deeper level. The social web would be more diverse, less monolithic, a vibrant tapestry of communities, each offering something unique to its members. Without Facebook, the internet would be far more decentralized. Before big tech, the web was a wild patchwork of blogs, forums, and personal sites. Facebook's uniform profiles and centralized servers changed that, making the web more corporate and less personal. In this alternate world, personal blogs and independent websites might have continued to thrive. RSS feeds could have become the main way to follow friends and creators, not a single news feed. Your online identity would be tied to your own space, not a rented profile. Multiple personas, professional, hobbyist, anonymous, would be the norm. This separation could empower free expression and privacy. The web would be messier but more resilient and democratic. No single company could control speech or change the rules for everyone. If you didn't like one platform, you could move, or start your own. Power would be distributed among users, not concentrated in a few hands. The internet would remain a bit more of the Wild West, freedom and chaos side by side. Communication would be fragmented. No Messenger, no WhatsApp. We'd juggle SMS, Skype, and maybe evolved versions of AIM or ICQ. You'd have to ask, what's the best way to reach you? No universal app. This means no single company would control our private conversations. Privacy features like encryption might have developed differently, maybe led by a privacy-focused company. Our chats would be scattered across many services, giving us more choice and control. Digital advertising would look nothing like today. Without Meta's data-driven model, ads would be less personal, more contextual. Think car ads on car sites, not based on your private data. Subscription models or micropayments might have become the norm. The trade-off between free services and privacy would be far less central. Without Meta, the privacy debate would look very different. No Cambridge Analytica scandal to spark global outrage. Public awareness of privacy issues might have grown more slowly. Other companies, Google, MySpace, would still collect data, but the focus would shift to things like search history or location. Regulations like GDPR might have taken longer to arrive. A decentralized web could have fostered a stronger privacy culture from the start. People would own more of their data, using privacy tools and learning to protect themselves. The idea of selling your data for a fair price might have gained traction. The debate would be about managing your data as an asset, not just protecting it as a right. Privacy would be a personal choice, not just a corporate responsibility. What about Mark Zuckerberg himself? Without Facebook, he might have become a top academic, a tech executive at Google or Microsoft, or started a different company, maybe in enterprise software or mobile operating systems. He could still be a billionaire but not a global icon. The founders of Instagram and WhatsApp wouldn't have sold to Meta, changing the tech billionaire landscape. Silicon Valley's power structure would be different, with new faces at the top. Philanthropy would shift too. No Zuckerberg initiative funding science and education at scale. Other billionaires would fill the gap, but with different priorities. The ripple effects would touch everything from tech innovation to global charity. One man's alternate path, a world of difference. News and information would flow differently. No Facebook news feed means people would seek out news more intentionally, visiting trusted sites or using aggregators. The algorithm-driven echo chamber would be weaker, possibly reducing polarization. Social movements would organize through Twitter, texts, or forums, harder to track, but also harder to scale quickly. The power to spread messages instantly to millions would be diminished. Social change might be slower, but more sustainable. Mental health could benefit. Less compare and despair, less pressure to perform for likes and followers. Online behavior would be less about going viral, more about real conversation. Cyberbullying might be confined to smaller communities, not global stages. The internet wouldn't be a utopia, but the pressures would be different. Looking back, it's clear how one website shaped our world. Meta's existence isn't just about tech, it's about society, politics, and what it means to be human online. Remove it, and a different digital ecosystem grows, more scattered, diverse, and chaotic. This thought experiment shows the internet wasn't inevitable, it was built by choices. By imagining a different past, we see the impact of those choices. The debates about privacy, centralization, and mental health are still happening. Understanding how one change could alter everything helps us shape a better future. What kind of internet do we want for the next generation? Our digital world isn't set in stone, it's a reflection of our values. If we don't like what we see, we can change it. The story of the internet is still being written, by all of us.